Let's talk about re-verifying an I-9 for someone who used a work permit for their first I-9 when they got hired. Hi, I'm Loren Locke. I'm an immigration attorney. I represent Fortune 500 companies that sponsor foreign workers, as well as those that find that they do have foreign workers on their payroll and have these I-9 questions. So workers with I-9s all have an expiration date, and it all must be re-verified for the employer to stay in compliance. What happens when you tell your employer, hey, bring in your new documents for your re-verification, and they say, oh, I don't have it yet? Well, that's a kind of a complicated question when it comes to work permit, because there are actually so many different types of situations that people can get a work permit for, and there is not one universal set of rules. So what do you need to do in your situation? The first thing I want you to pay attention to is the category that the I-9 was issued for. So right in the middle of the card, you will see a number and some digits that tells you the category. In our example, it's C09. So that's a person who is waiting for a green card. They've already applied. They're waiting for it. Often when you're going to ask this person to re-verify, they're going to say, oh yeah, I do have my green card. Here it is. Other times they're going to say, oh, it's still pending and I don't have my new card yet. Can they keep working? Can you lay them off because they're not work authorized anymore? Well, this person will need to show you that they applied for their new card. They filed their new I-765 application for work authorization, and it's pending. If they did it before their old card expired, then they qualify for a 540-day extension. This is the amount of time the government gave itself to print out the new card because they got really backlogged and they thought that would be good enough. That could change after September 30th, 2025, but that's what the current extension is for the categories that qualify for it. Now, not every category qualifies for it, so you really need to check. I don't recommend trying to memorize the list. CO9 does qualify. A lot of the humanitarian categories qualify. Some common ones that I see that don't qualify would be C33, which is the DACA Dreamers, and the C26, which are the H4 spouses. Those categories, they need to have their new EAD in hand to keep working. If they don't have it, they're going to have a lapse in their employment. Another category that gets treated in a special way is that for temporary protected status, which can be classified interchangeably as C19 or A12 on their EAD. The government authorizes TPS for entire countries all at once, extends it all at once, and maintains a website for each country that says, hey, maybe everybody's marked expiration was this specific date, but as a batch, we extended them this other date a year later. Before you would ever lay off somebody with a C19 or an A12, because it's expired, you really need to check their specific country's TPS page maintained by USCIS and make sure that their work authorization has not been automatically extended, because this can happen even with them doing nothing, even without them filing an extension. And really, for any of these categories, many of them are for humanitarian categories, for humanitarian reasons that the work authorization was granted. And you really need to be quite careful before you assume that someone's work authorization has lapsed. You don't want to be wrong there. The M274 handbook that the government publishes and updates online is a really great resource. In addition to that, please follow me on LinkedIn, on YouTube. If you have complex immigration questions or needs, I'd love to help you out. Thanks.